Yeah, it was great. He's in a mix of players that when you start getting to the end of your career in our sport, you're thinking of the game after, and that added perception of having to put up numbers and things starts weighing heavy. You see that with a couple of our players at various positions. That when you're playing for a contract, in your eyes, everything all of a sudden matters a great deal. So, and putting up points is one of those things that matters. So he was pressing. He had a couple of weeks where we noticed where he was really pressing, and it was weighing on him. So him breaking out 5-point weekend is the smiles on his face makes it worth it. I think Jack Works played a big part of that, getting healthy and being back with him in the lineup. And the last couple of weeks, Arvid's scoring chances have gone drastically up, and so for him to get rewarded for that is extremely gratifying to see the smiles on his face and see how he's such a great player, such a great leader, such a fierce competitor. Andy Murray, Jordy Murray's dad, who coached a long time in the NHL, said it really well. He could play, and now this is the good and the bad, I guess. Arvid could play at any level of hockey and help any team from the NHL on down. He could play at any level. He can penalty kill. He's got a long stick. He skates well. The issue, the other side of that is, then the comment is, but nowadays they look for points. They look for point production. So, you hear one side of it and you hear the other side, and that adds to the pressure of having to produce. Dealing with that is the great thing of sport, right? Dealing with the adversity is the great thing of sport. You get a lot of opportunities to be high and low and learn to manage that, and I'm very proud of the way he's doing that. I'm not looking at that. You don't see that every day. I think I saw one at Lake State where it was, we were down 6-0, came back and won 7-6. You don't see it. I remember one game, a national tournament game, Northern Michigan and BU. There were 2-3 goal championship game of the national tournament. ESPN 2-3 goal pivots. One team had a 3-goal lead. The other team tied it, took a 3-goal lead, and then Northern ended up winning it like 8-7 in overtime in 1991. You don't see that type of thing very often. It's not surprising in the fact that the area that we need to get better at is defending. There's no secret to that. We have to defend better. That's reflective on our penalty kill, and that's reflective on probably our overall goals against right now, where we're used to being 2 to under 2 a game, and we're significantly higher than that. We're used to being in the top 2 in our league and in the top 5 nationally, and we're nowhere near that. So I think synonymously, when we get better, and hopefully we can, as we evolve, it starts out first individually and then collectively. And when we get better, you're going to see growth in both those areas. Now, that's the area that didn't surprise me. But the other side of it that you really have to look at is that, I give Bemidji a ton of credit. A lot of pride there. The game Saturday it went exactly opposite of what they wanted it to be. They wanted to get off to a good start. They felt they'd been chasing the games. They felt they hadn't had good first periods. We went out to a lead again and then ended up taking a 4-goal lead. And at the end of the second period, they scored. At the end of the second period and in the first minute and a half of the third period, they scored on 4 straight shots. 4 straight scoring chances they had, 4 straight shots. Shots went from 18 to 22, and the game was tied. That's not going to happen a lot on Blake. You know what I mean? So being realistic about it is you have to also give credit to – I give credit to Bemidji in the way that they answered the challenge that they got from their coaches. And you could I would venture to say that we could go play against them right now and pick 3 players that go on the ice and make it 5-on-3, and they wouldn't score on 4 straight shots. But they did. And it changed the game. And all of a sudden it's a tie game. They got a late power play and scored. Reflective of what I've just got done saying, and then they got an empty net goal. We weren't able to pull out any magic. So, I can't live in a world of perception. I live in a world of reality, and that's the reality that I see. I'm not down on the guys. I don't think the guys' mood is down. It's not like, oh, the world caved in. We're a team that's evolving and trying to find ourselves, and there's little groups within the team that that are on different spectrums of where they're at. The defense right now is trying to figure out who they are as a group. We don't have Leip and Thorne like we had last year to all league type players to go in and shut things down, to reset, and to calm the back end down. We have guys that are unproven back there, either young or inexperienced, that we're going to find out from within the group where that's going to come from. We have some other players that feel some pressure that the end is near and they have to perform, and that's added pressure that they don't need. That's outside perception. I've been talking to them about that. You can't change what people think you should be doing versus what you are doing in numbers. All you can do is be reflective of your game and know in your heart whether you're doing what you can do to perform and get better or you're not. And that's, again, the beauty of sport. Then we have others that are at a high cycle that we got 2 freshmen leading our team in scoring that are free of mind, trying to figure it out. Like Logan Piedler, his first year, comes in, gets 20 points, hat trick in the GLI, and then doesn't score a goal his second year and has 3 assists. And on the year, just tied up in knots because of perception. Just play. The freshmen right now are just playing, and they're performing. And if they feel all these outside influences next year, they'll struggle a bit till they figure it out as well. But we have freshmen right now open-minded. Chase Perla and D open-minded. They're performing really well. Mosley open-minded, just keeps grinding and getting better. Jack Works open-minded, gets in the lineup, come back from an injury and sparks us. So there's a lot of different fragments and elements that you go in and out. Arvid seems to be on the side now of open-minded and not balled up to feel he has to do anything special. And the calmer we get, the quicker the more we'll trend in the right direction as far as our overall development. But I like the group. I'm happy with the group. We're playing for the end game. We're not playing for, every game's important. We don't play that many. But we're playing, I like the group. And I still think that people aren't going to, people know when they're on the ice with us that they're playing what looks to be has the makeup to be a very good team. That's the question that we don't know. All we can do is rep. All we can do is rep them and show them and teach them and try to give them outs. And what happened a bit against Bemidji on Saturday is the same thing happened a little bit against Wisconsin in that a little burst there where they got 3 straight goals when we had a 1-0 lead into the second period. There's a little panic. And with that panic, it's like, and that leads to a whole. Then all of a sudden they're nervous on the rush, and they want someone else to take the lead responsibility. So now we're not aggressive on the defending. Honestly, we feel the ability's there. Honestly, we might be better off with a sports psychologist than with hockey coaches, because really we feel the ability's there. We have to give them looks in practice, and we have to give them video, and we have to encourage them. And but for some of them, have they ever taken over at this level? And the answer is no. You know what I mean? They've never been, the alpha. And right now we're just kind of lacking an alpha. And when times get tough, people look to get behind somebody. It's just natural. That's what we all look that way. So that's where I say, hard and soft don't mix. And soft is really influential and dominant when they're allowed to be, and when there's no threat involved. Where we find out who we are is under duress and under the pressures that life brings. That's where we find out who we are, and that's where we have the opportunity to grow. So we have that opportunity right now that And that's the message we're sharing with the guys. This is where we harden and become who we are, and this is where the opportunity is to form and build a base that will propel us individually and collectively moving forward. We all go through it. You've gone through it. I go through it. We all go through it, and then through experience, they become those people that others get behind. Right now, I don't think there's anybody that they can jump behind that can bail them out of difficulties. And everybody gets gets pretty meek and mild. Soft gets pretty meek and mild when the going gets really tough and there's no one to come bail you out and give you that free pass. So you have to work through that, and that's what we're trying to get at right now. Is that we're at a good opportunity to grow. So I don't know if there is a set answer until you go through it and come out the other side of it. And none of these players have been that player where they've been before. So I would say Chase Piedla on Youngstown last year, who won the USHL championship. And he's a freshman. He's got to adapt to this level and show that he can do it at this level. He was that in a championship environment in the best junior league in the world. So he's arguably our most influential, impactful D right now, if you watch us, I would say. Last year we coached completely different than we're coaching this year. The year before we coached completely different than we've coached the other 2 years. And it comes down to how you feel you can best deal with your personnel. So what's our messaging is, fellas, we believe in you, which we do. We believe the talent's there. I mean, we have some really good young freshmen. We have some really good upperclassmen. You know what I mean? We certainly have really good goaltending. We have the makeup within our group, we feel, to be good, but we still have to perform. It's not like we have bad players, we have good players. You know what I mean? It's not like, I'm going to sit here and say that we don't have the capability. We do. And it'll be within we believe we do. We believe it's there, and so like I said, it's got to come within, the group needs to perform consistently at a level that, and we are, you know what I mean? We're a period away from being 4 straight and back to 500 and undefeated in league play and blah, blah, blah. It's just it's a hiccup. It was a hiccup. And that's how I look at it. I don't look at it as a devastating situation. I say, how many times are you going to beat Blake Piedla on 4 straight shots? Good luck. And they did. God bless them. I'm in ways happy for Ernie because he was really feeling it. With his group, and now he feels good about his group, and their group feels good about themselves. It's part of, you have to respect that and appreciate that in sport, you know what I mean?